Saint Augustine Commentary on the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 19 to 30, Tractatus 19. In the former discourse, so far as the subject impressed us, and so far as our poverty of understanding attained to, we have spoken by occasion of the words of the Gospel where it is written, "The Son can't do anything of himself, but what he sees the Father doing, what it is for the Son, that is the Word, for the Son is the Word, to see, and as all things were made by the Word, how it is to be understood that the Son first sees the Father doing, and then only himself also does the things which he has seen done, seeing that the Father has done nothing except by the Son. For all things were made by him, and without him was nothing made. We have not, however, delivered to you anything as fully explained, and that because we have not understood anything thus clearly set forth. For indeed, speech sometimes fails even where the understanding makes way. How much more does speech suffer defect, where the understanding has nothing perfect? Now therefore, as the Lord gives us, let us briefly run over the passage, and even today complete the due task. Should there perchance remain somewhat of time or of strength, we will reconsider, so far as it may be practicable for us and with you, what it is for the Word to see and to be shown to. Since in fact, all that is here spoken is such that, if understood according to man's sense carnally, the soul, full of vain fancies, makes for us only certain images of the Father and the Son, just as of two men, the one showing, the other seeing, the one speaking, the other hearing, all which are idols of the heart. And if now at length idols have been cast down from their own temples, how much more ought they to be cast down from Christian hearts? The Son says he can't do anything of himself, but what he sees the Father doing. This is true. Hold this fast, while at the same time you do not let slip what you have gotten in the beginning of the Gospel, that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and especially that all things were made by him. Join this that you have now heard to that hearing, and let both agree together in your hearts. Thus, the Son can't of himself do anything except what he sees the Father doing, is yet in such wise that what the Father does, he does only by the Son, because the Son is his Word. And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Also, all things were made by him. For what things soever he does, the Son also does in like manner. No other things but these, and not in a different, but in like manner. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all things that himself does. To that which he said above, except what he sees the Father doing, seems to belong this also, he shows him all things that himself does. But if the Father does show what he does, and the Son can't do except the Father has shown, and if the Father can't show unless he has done, it will follow that it is not through the Son that the Father does all things. If we hold it fixed and unshaken, that the Father does all by the Son, then he shows the Son before he does. For if the Father does show to the Son after he has done, that the Son may do the things shown, which being shown were already done, then doubtless something there is that the Father does without the Son. But the Father does not anything without the Son, because the Son of God is God's Word, and all things were made by him. It remains then that possibly what the Father is about to do, he shows as about to be done, that it may be done by the Son. For if the Son does those things which the Father shows as already done, surely it is not by the Son that the Father has done the things which he thus shows. For they could not be shown to the Son unless they were first done, and the Son would not be able to do them unless they were first shown. Therefore were they made without the Son. But yet it is a true thing. All things were made by him. Therefore they were shown before they were made. But this, we said, must be put off and returned to after briefly scanning the passage, as if we said, some portion of time and of strength should remain to us for a reconsideration of the matters deferred. Attend how to a wider and more difficult question. And greater works than these, says he, will he show him, that you may marvel. Greater than these. Greater than which? The answer readily occurs. Than the cures of bodily diseases which you have just heard. For the whole occasion of this discourse arose about the man who was thirsty and 8 years in infirmity, and was healed by the word of Christ. And in respect of this cure, the Lord could say, greater works than these he will show him, that you may marvel. For these are greater, and the Father will show them to the Son. It is not have shown as of a thing past, but will show of a thing future, or is about to show. Again, a difficult question arises. Why then is there something with the Father that has not yet been shown to the Son? Is there something with the Father that was still hid from the Son when he spoke these words? For surely if it be will show, that is to say, is about to show, then he has not yet shown, and he is about to show to the Son at the same time as to these persons, since it follows that you may marvel. And this is a thing hard to see, how the Eternal Father does show something, as it were in time, to the co-eternal Son, who knows all things that are with the Father. But what are the greater works? For perhaps this is easy to understand. For as the Father, says he, raises up the dead and quickens them, even so the Son quickens whom he will. To raise the dead then are greater works than to heal the sick. But as the Father raises the dead and quickens them, so also the Son quickens whom he will. Hence the Father some, the Son others. But all things are by him. Therefore the Son, the same person as the Father does. Since the Son does not other things and in a different manner, but these and in like manner. Thus clearly it must be understood and thus held. But keep in memory that the Son quickens whom he will. Here too know not only the power of the Son, but also the will. Both the Son quickens whom he will, and also the Father quickens whom he will. The Son, the same persons as the Father, and hence the power of the Father and of the Son is the same, and also the will is the same. What follows, then? For the Father judges not any man, but has given all judgment to the Son, that all men may honor the Son even as they honor the Father. This he subjoined as rendering a reason of the foregoing sentence. A great question comes before us. Give it your earnest attention. The Son quickens whom he will. The Father quickens whom he will. The Son raiseth the dead, just as the Father raises the dead. And further, the Father judges not any man. If the dead must be raised in the judgment, how can it be said that the Father raises the dead if he judges not any man, since he has given all judgment to the Son? But in that judgment the dead are raised, some rise to life, others to punishment. If the Son does all this, but the Father not, inasmuch as he judges not any man, but has given all judgment to the Son. It will appear contrary to what has been said, viz., as the Father raises up the dead and quickens them, so also the Son quickens whom he will. Consequently, the Father and the Son raise together. If they raise together, they quicken together. Hence they judge together. How then is that true? For the Father judges not any man, but has given all judgment to the Son? Meanwhile, let the questions now proposed engage our minds. The Lord will cause that, when solved, they will delight you. For so it is, brethren, every question, unless it stirs the mind to reflection, will not give delight when explained. May the Lord himself then follow with us, in case he may perhaps reveal himself somewhat in those matters which he folds up. For he folds up his light with a cloud, and it is difficult to fly like an eagle above every obscure mist with which the whole earth is covered, and to behold the most serene light in the words of the Lord. In case then he may perhaps dissipate our darkness with the heat of his rays, and deign to reveal himself somewhat in the sequel, let us, deferring these questions, look at what follows.